So basically, we are discussing chapter number 2, which is demand and supply, and up till now we have been talking about the demand only. Today we want to discuss the consumer surplus. Basically, we were discussing demand. उसमें फिर हमने काफी सारी चीजें डिस्कस की जिसमें हमने लॉ ऑफ डिमांड, डिमांड कर्व, changes in demand, इसमें मूवमेंट वर्सेस शिफ्ट, ऑफ डिमांड, ये वो सारी बातें जो हम डिस्कस कर चुके हैं। आज एक नया आइडिया हम इसमें डिस्कस करना चाहते हैं, उसे हम कहते हैं कंज्यूमर सरप्लस। The difference between consumers' maximum willingness to pay इस मैक्सिमम विलिंगनेस टू पे को हम रिजर्वेशन प्राइस भी कहते हैं। एंड एक्चुअल पेमेंट स्लैश मार्केट प्राइस is defined as consumer surplus. आवाज आ रही है? Okay. The difference between consumers' maximum willingness to pay or reservation price and actual payment or market price is defined as the consumer surplus. मतलब इसका समझना आपने कि आप घर से निकलते हैं मार्केट की तरफ टू परचेज द शर्ट। आपका ख्याल है कि ये शर्ट अगर मुझे 1000 तक की मिल गई तो आई विल परचेज इट। That is your maximum willingness to pay. If the price is 1000 plus 1, you will not purchase it because you do not have the sufficient money to purchase the shirt. So your maximum willingness to pay is 1000. But when you reach to the market, you observe that price in the market is only 600. So your willingness to pay is 1000. Actually, you pay 600 for the shirt. So whatever is left in your pocket, that is defined as your consumer surplus. So the difference between consumer's maximum willingness to pay and actual price is defined as the consumer surplus. Every point on the demand curve shows consumers' reservation price of the corresponding unit. which decreases with increase in quantity. However, consumers purchase all the units at same market price. Therefore, the area below the demand curve above the market price is defined as consumer surplus. Along the vertical axis, we are taking price. Along horizontal axis, we are taking quantity. This is the demand curve. Let us assume that price is P naught. At this price, consumers are purchasing Q naught amount. Then this area is defined as consumer surplus, written as CS. In the graph, at price P naught, consumers purchase Q naught amount. The shaded area is consumer surplus. जी अगर हम इसको कोई न्यूमेरिकल एग्जांपल देना चाहें तो वी कैन आल्सो सॉल्व अ न्यूमेरिकल पार्ट. Let P is equal to 50 minus 2Q. Find consumer surplus at P is equal to 10. Along vertical axis we have P, along horizontal axis we have Q. This demand curve is starting from the value of 50, ending up at the value of 25. It is starting from the value of 50. When P is equal to 10, you can find out the quantity. Q is equal to 20. If I plug in 10 into the equation, 10 is equal to 50 minus 2Q. So 2Q is equal to 40, Q is equal to 20. So when P is equal to 10, Q is equal to 20. This area is the consumer surplus. So CS is the area of the triangle. Is equal to half into vertical into base is equal to 400. जी शाह भाई, यहां तक कोई बात अनक्लियर? आवाज आ रही है भाई?
जी सर आ रही है।
तो consumer surplus is basically a hypothetical idea that whenever you go to the market to purchase any commodity, every individual has some willingness to pay in its mind. और उसको maximum willingness to pay कहते हैं. If the price will be above this, you will never be purchasing the product. But you will only be purchasing the product if price is exactly that one, whatever your willingness to pay is, or price is below that. So if price is below your willingness to pay, then whatever will be left with you, that will be defined as the consumer surplus. ये ग्राफ आपने बनाना नहीं है, ये सिर्फ मैं अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए एक्सप्लेन करना चाह रहा हूं. दिस आई विल इरेज. मतलब ये डिमांड कर, मैं अब इसका सिर्फ मीनिंग समझाना चाह रहा हूं. ओवर हियर इज द टीवी. देयर इज अ वेरी रिच इंडिविजुअल. His willingness to pay for the TV is 100,000. Then there is another individual. He is also rich. His willingness to pay is 90,000. There is another individual. His willingness to pay is 80,000. There is another individual. His willingness to pay is 70,000. And other individual, his willingness to pay is 60,000. And blah blah blah. A lot of individuals are there in the market with different willingness to pay. For example, price in the market is 60,000. First individual whose willingness to pay is 100,000, he will go to the market, purchase the TV at the price of 60,000. So this first individual will be getting 40,000 as consumer surplus. Similarly, second individual willingness to pay is 90,000, but he also purchases the TV at the price of 60,000. This individual will be getting 30,000 of surplus. Next will be getting 20,000 of surplus. Next will be getting 10,000 of surplus. If I add all these, we will be getting the total consumer surplus. So if we assume that commodity can be divided into tiny parts, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.06, etc., then this complete area will be defined as the measure of the consumer surplus. And consumer surplus is usually used to measure the welfare of the consumer. Higher consumer surplus means that consumers are very much better off. Similarly, when we will be talking about supply curve, we will also be discussing the producer surplus. Producer surplus will be the difference between producer's cost of production and actual price in the market. So producer surplus will basically measure of the producer's profits or producer's welfare. One more thing left in this is angel curve. If you remember demand curve shows the relationship between price of the product and its quantity demanded. दोबारा मैं रिपीट करता हूं. Demand curve shows the relationship between price of the product and its quantity demanded. On the other hand, demand also depends upon the income level. So if we plot the income and demand against each other, we will be getting a curve defined as the angel curve. Angel curve shows the relationship between consumers income जिसको हम M से डिनोट करते हैं and quantity demanded of the product. Angel curve shows the relationship between consumers income M and quantity demanded of the product. So if we plot income and quantity demanded against each other, we will be getting the angel curve. Shape of the angel curve. Depends upon the nature of the product. We discriminate between normal goods and inferior goods. A good is normal if its consumption / demand increases with increase in consumer's income. And vice versa. X is normal commodity if X increases when income increases and X decreases when income decreases. That is, delta X over delta M is positive. In this case, angel curve is positively sloped. On the vertical axis, we are taking income M. On the horizontal axis, we are taking demand for X. So in this case, angel curve will be positively sloped. For example, income is M naught, demand is X naught, income is M1, demand is X1. So this is the angel curve of a normal commodity. Similarly, if the good is inferior, this is the definition of normal. Now we will be talking about inferior. A good is defined as inferior if its consumption decreases with increase in income and vice versa. So X is inferior if X increases when income decreases and X decreases when income increases. That is delta X over delta M is negative. In this case, angel curve is negatively sloped. Along vertical axis, we are taking income. Along horizontal axis, we are taking demand for X. Angel curve is negatively sloped. With high income, there is lower demand. With lower income, there is high demand. Usually, it is assumed that consumption of good changes disproportionately with change in income. Therefore, in general, angel curve is as shown in the graph. On the vertical axis, we are taking income as it is. Along the horizontal axis, we are taking X commodity. So it is assumed that shape of the angel curve is something like this. कि जो आपकी इनकम चेंज होती रहती है, कभी आप चीज की कंजम्पशन बढ़ा देते हैं, कभी कम कर देते हैं, एटसेट्रा. वी यूजुअली गिव द एग्जांपल ऑफ बीफ. जब बंदा गरीब होता है तो बड़ा गोश्त यूज करता है सिर्फ. थोड़ा अमीर हो जाता है तो कहता है ये बड़ा गोश्त मेरी सेहत के लिए बहुत नुकसानदेह है, तो इट स्विचेस टुवर्ड्स द मटन. फिर थोड़ा और अमीर हो जाता है तो फिर मल्टीपल डिशेज आ जाती हैं कि उसके घर में मटन भी बन रहा होता है, नहीं यार जो कबाब है वो बड़े गोश्त के अच्छे लगेंगे, तो इट विल बी इनिशियली it increases the consumption with increase in income, then reduces the consumption, then again increases the consumption with increase in income. If we give a recap, we have talked about the consumer surplus. What is the consumer surplus? Difference between consumer's willingness to pay and market price. For everything, every individual has some willingness to pay. That is its personal thinking. It is not written anywhere. Whatever is your willingness to pay, it is only in your mind. Nobody knows it. But when you go to the market, there is a tag, price tag written on the product. So you always compare your willingness to pay with the price of the product in the market. If that price is less than your willingness to pay, you purchase it. Otherwise, you leave it. So consumer surplus is the difference between your willingness to pay and the market price. And it is basically area under the demand curve above the market price. Area below the demand curve above the market price is defined as the consumer surplus. In general, it is the area of the triangle which you can calculate by using the formula of the triangle half into vertical into base. Then we discuss the angel curve. Angel curve, in case of demand curve shows the relationship between price of the product and quantity demanded. And it is a negatively sloped line. On the other hand, angel curve shows the relationship between income of the consumer and its quantity demanded. The shape of the angel curve depends upon whether commodity is normal or inferior. If commodity is normal, its consumption increases with increase in income and decreases with decrease in income. Therefore, angel curve is positively sloped line. On the other hand, if commodity is inferior, then with increase in income, consumption decreases, with decrease in income, consumption increases. So in that case, angel curve turns out to be negatively sloped line. However, in general, shape of the angel curve is zigzag. Okay, as shown in the graph. Usually this happens, not always, but about many products, the situation is like this. Initially with increase in income, consumption increases, then with increase in income, consumption decreases, then with further increase in income, consumption increases, etc. So in this way, the generalized shape of the angel curve is as shown in the graph. These were the information about the demand for the product. Now we will be moving toward the supply of the product.